are going to talk about, let's see all the things we're going to do. Some combinations from cartwheel to Valdez, and then aerial to Valdez, and a little bit of illusions to aerial. I'm going to do my best. I don't have someone here with me today because we are obviously practicing social distancing even more now, but I don't have a dancer here to demonstrate for me. So I'm going to try to do things and talk to you about things without having someone here to demonstrate, which might pose being a little bit difficult. However, we are still going to do it because I said I would. All right. Tumbling for Dancers is a class that I started, just in case this is your first time watching. Tumbling for Dancers is a class that I started a long time ago, like 2011, maybe even 10. Okay, but I started it for dancers that wanted to. I was getting a bunch of private lessons, requests for private lessons, and people asking me to help them learn specific skills, and I ran out of time, so I created a class just for competitive dancers, and that's kind of where this is all spawning from. So if this is your first time, you can go back to our website, summitsportscenter.com, and you can see all of our previous videos that we've done. If you click on events and then click on virtual content, there's a heading, Tumbling for Dancers, and you can see all the videos that we've done. I'll probably say that the videos previously are going to be better than this one because I have demonstrators and I don't have a demonstrator today. But again, I'm going to do my best, okay? All right, real quick, we're going to do a super quick warm-up. And we're going to do jumping jacks. So follow along. You always want to warm up before you start any tumbling practice or dance, really. But before you stretch, you always want to get those muscles warmed up and those joints moving before you stretch them. So you shouldn't just get out of bed and stretch, okay? Or be sitting down forever and just stretch and hold stretches. You want to get your body warmed up first. When you do jumping jacks, make sure your hands go all the way up, over your head, where you're touching your fingers, and all the way down to your legs. All right, next thing we're going to do is just a couple squat jumps. So we'll do a couple squats before we get into jumping. I'm just going to touch the floor, and hands up. Touch the floor, and hands up. Now we'll do about 10 jumping. A little bit of a wider squat. Getting those legs going, those hips going, your knees and ankles. Good. We're going to do a thing called spider lunges. So you're going to go down into a plank, and you're going to push up to downward dog, and step that leg forward to where your hands are, stretching the hip flexor. A little bit of a glute and hamstring stretch, as well as the hips. We're warming those shoulders up too. And also, when you push back to downward dog, you're pushing your heels into the ground. So you're also stretching your calves. Active stretching. All right, we're going to do a few toe raises. You can put your feet together and lift up and down. Stretching out those ankles. Pushing forward, stretch it out. Okay, we're going to do wrists, because we will be on our hands. So spread and squeeze, spread and squeeze. Make a fist and go up and down, up and down. And circle around. Good. All right. And we're going to do a quick stretch. Okay, you're going to go in a straddle and hang your head. and walk your feet over to the left, and walk your hands over to the right, and bend one knee to keep the other one straight, and again. One more time. Good. Okay. The first thing that we're going to do is you want to make sure that you have a good cartwheel first, okay? Because we're going to combine two skills here. Okay, we're going to combine a cartwheel with the Valdez. If you don't know what a Valdez is, you can go watch one of our previous videos because I'm not going to do one today. I might do a little bit of one and maybe get into a bridge, we'll see. But this is more about connecting the two skills. Okay, so a Valdez is where you do basically a kickover from this position. Okay, you're going to push up to a bridge and do a kickover. Again, if you don't know how to do a Valdez or don't know what it is, you might want to watch that other video. It'll be beneficial, and it says it in the title. It says we're working on Valdez in the title. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure that you have a great cartwheel. Okay, you can use a jump rope. You can use a bunch of different things. Okay, if you don't have a line on the floor, you can use a jump rope and kind of stay beside it. Okay, cartwheel, so you know where you are. Okay, I prefer to make a drawing on the floor, and I had a piece of chalk over here. I don't know where it went. Maybe it went under here. I do not see it. Well, we'll have to pretend that there's a line. So what you want, here's my chalk. I knew I had it, okay? This particular drill requires a good deal of balance at the end. So we're gonna work real quick on improving our balance, especially at the end of skills. So I'm gonna draw a line, a really long one. Now, you're going to do a cartwheel with your foot starting on the line in a nice power lunge, okay? And by power lunge, I mean this. Straight line from your ankle all the way up to your fingertips. And you're going to do a cartwheel on the line, okay? Now, balance comes from the core. This is kind of the center of your body, okay? Your belly button. Now, what you want to think is keeping your belly button over that line the entire time. So let's just try this. You're going to put your foot on the line and hold up your back leg and just keep your belly button over the line. Bend that knee, straighten the knee. Arms up, holding. Okay? You get in the pickle when your belly button goes to the side of the line. Okay, let's try it with our other leg. Okay? You might be better at one than the other. Okay? So here, bent knee, straight knee, bent knee. Focusing on your core. Keeping your core really tight, your back flat and long. You can hold your arms out. Okay? So, practicing that is very beneficial for combining skills, for acro type skills, as well as dance and as well as tumbling in general. Belly button over the line, okay? If you don't have a line, okay, belly button right over your toe. My toe is right here, belly button right over your toe, okay? So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off like this. You're going to practice your cartwheel, okay, and at the end of your cartwheel, you want your belly button over that line, and you don't want to move your feet at all. So you want to hold. Okay, so you're going all the way through the cartwheel with your belly button over the line, and you're ending your cartwheel with your belly button over the line. Okay, at the middle of your cartwheel, you're turning your hips and your feet. You're not turning your chest, okay, or your head. All you're doing is kind of turning your hands, okay, to get them where they need to go. Your wrist here, belly button, okay? Now, what we're going to do, okay, is you're going to land your cartwheel but not touch your back leg down, okay? So, this is the leg I'm starting with. At the end of my cartwheel, it's going to be my back leg, okay? So my good leg becomes the leg that's in the back at the end of my cartwheel. What I'm going to try to do is not put that leg down and bring it back in front, okay? Here. Okay, see I put it down? You don't want to do that. You want to bring it back in front, okay? So you want to scoop it through. Kind of like a cartwheel step in, but you're not stepping in, you're scooping it through, okay? So here, I'll try again. I was better that time, but I was falling back, okay? So really focus on that belly button. Let's try one more time. Belly button over the line, nice and slow in your power lunge. Ooh, I was a little better that time. Just kind of lean into the side, okay? Now, that's the basis for the transition into the Valdez. So you're going to go here, you're going to hold it up. Now from here is basically what in like the fitness world you call a pistol squat, okay? Pistol squat, I'll give you a good way to practice the pistol squat. You can practice it from a mat. Okay? So this is how you're going to end your cartwheel. Scoot up so you can see me a little bit. This is how you're going to end your cartwheel, and you're just going to sit down. Okay? So you're going to sit down without this leg touching. Okay? A modification till you get there would be just keep it in front of you and sitting down here. So you can keep it on the floor. Okay? But in a perfect world, you want to keep it held up. Okay? So cartwheel, nice and slow. Here, sit down to your Valdez position, okay? My hand on the other side looks like this, okay? This hand right here, okay? You're going to sit down nice and slow like this, okay? And I kind of plop down, but you want to try to lower down. That's why the balance is so important on this, okay? You always want to be core focused, okay? Keeping your shoulders and hips squared and belly button over your center of gravity, okay? So, at the end of the cartwheel, you're going to pull through, pistol squat, okay? And you're barely going to touch that bottom before you stand back up into your bridge, okay? Now, again, you might need to go back and watch the Valdez video because I'm not going to do a Valdez, okay? But you're going to go nice and slow through. See, I touched back, but you're not going to. Sit, and then right away, back up to your Valdez. Now, you could also do a skill that we did in last week's video. You could do cartwheel, scoot through to pistol squat to, I think they called it an angel. But it's the other thing that we did last week. In last week's video, I think it was last Thursday. But it's in that one, okay? You can also do this with an aerial, and it's the same thing. Okay, you land that aerial on one foot here, okay, and then you're scooping up and through to sit down. Soon as your bottom touches, you don't flop down and put weight on your bottom. Soon as your bottom touches, you're already back up, okay? But let your bottom barely touch, then go back up. Don't rush it, okay? This is not a quick thing. All right, so we are going to go on to improving your back handspring step out, okay? This is on the premise that you already have a back handspring, okay? So before you really start doing back handspring step outs, you want to have a pretty good back handspring first, okay? Now, back handspring step outs are better for more lyrical type dances or jazz or something like that. Regular back handsprings are pretty good for hip hop, okay? But most of the time in a dance, you're not going to just chuck a round off handspring, okay? It's going to be more likely a cartwheel step in, back handspring step out. Those are more graceful, they have better lines, and they flow better with those types of dances in general, okay? So let's try to save those round off handsprings for hip hop. That's just my personal opinion. Okay, unless your back handspring is really, really good and you have legs perfectly together, straight pointed toes, all that, okay? So before we do the back handspring step out, you really want to be able to do a back walkover, okay, with completely straight legs. That's first and foremost. Okay, there's a back walkover video under the tumbling section as well that you can check out. Okay, but you want to have a good back walkover. Then what I think is kind of important just to help body awareness and to help you understand how to move through things with straight legs when your legs are split, I like to see after that a back walkover switch leg, okay? Now, I don't know that I'm going to do a back walkover, but I'll do a kick over, switch leg, okay? I do think that that's kind of important for the back walkover. I mean, the back handspring step out is like a back walkover switch leg to help you understand how quickly you can move with tight legs, okay? Now, I'll show you a few drills for the back walkover, the back handspring step out, okay? A good one in general, okay, is just kind of going to a handstand and holding that split, okay? So going to your handstand and saying, this is where I need to be, okay? In the middle of that back handspring step out, that's where I need to be, and kind of holding that muscle memory, okay? So you can do it against the wall too, okay? And kind of move out here, okay? Nice and tight, squeezing those legs and holding that position, okay? So you're still up here nice and tight in your back handspring, okay? But your legs are just split. Nothing else is really changing. You even have to be even maybe more tight through the shoulders and the core, okay? Back handspring step out helps if you make it a little higher, not shorter. Still want it to be kind of long, but a little higher so that you have time to jump and split and really show that deep, nice split as you step out, okay? Another drill, if you have a bed, you can do kind of a jump back drill, but like a split, okay? And you can do it on your bed, okay? So if you're here, it's like a regular jump back drill, but instead, you're going to jump and split that leg right away, okay? So I'll do it again, jump, and split that leg right away, okay? So if you have an air track, nice sturdy couch cushions, something like that, another good drill is when you jump up from the floor here, okay, and you're going up the mat, like you're going to put your hands on the mat, okay? So if I was here, I would go here and I'd do the back handspring up the mat, okay? That forces you to jump higher, and it forces you almost kind of stop in that split, okay? When you're doing that back handspring step out, you almost want to think about, hey, can I stop in this split in the middle of it? To kind of gauge where you are with it, okay? So jump back drill, doing back handspring step outs up the mat, okay? Holding the split, okay? You want to know that you want to jump back to the split handstand. Now, another good way to think of that is thinking about the back handspring step out as a split jump, okay? Now, I'm not a dancer, so I'm going to do a split jump, but you're going to think it's funny, okay? So act like you're swinging for the back handspring, okay? Here, and split jump, okay? So that's where your legs go in the back handspring step out, okay? Like I said, it's not a step out at the end, okay? You don't want to step out your back handspring, and you don't want to be here and then at the very end, step out. So that's a good starting place, okay? That's a good starting place if you already have your back handspring. When your hands hit, step your leg out. But just know that you want to jump and split at the same time, okay? Now, it's been a really long time since I did a back handspring step out on the floor, but I will give it a shot. I have a feeling I stepped out pretty late. But those are just a few tips that will help you improve your back handspring step out. Visualization is pretty good too, okay? All right, so the last thing that we're gonna do is something that I obviously planned to do with a subject here, so that can do an illusion, okay? I I think doing things out of illusions is pretty cool. So I do not do illusions. However, I can kind of show you a little bit of a breakdown. Okay, so if I'm doing an illusion, it'll be your best bet is to do them on both legs. Be able to do them on both legs. So I know some of you guys do things in dance differently, like with a different leg than you do it with in tumbling. Okay, so when you do that illusion, when you step and you're here, okay, and you're all the way up in that illusion, and then you step here, boom, here. It's just like coming out of a chaîné turn, okay? Obviously your chest is going to be quite a bit lower, so you have to kind of wait until your chest gets up at the end of that illusion, okay? But when you do it, again, here, lift that leg up, there's your illusion. You're coming around, and instead of stepping this leg back, okay, you're going to go here and lift through to either do your aerial, a front walkover, a cartwheel, a dive cartwheel, a front aerial, okay? Now, you do have to get your chest up quicker than a regular, if you're just doing an illusion. You do have to get your chest up a little bit quicker as you're coming over, okay? So it would be awesome if you tried some of those with anything, with a cartwheel, with a handstand, front walkover, front aerial, side summy, anything, and tag me. And the next video that I do, since I don't have a subject, I would love to kind of put some old videos on the screen and go through some breakdowns of some skills that I can't personally do, but that I've taught to a lot of people. I'd really like to break down the rubber band. So until this stay-at-home thing is lifted, I won't really have a subject to do this unless Jada wants to try, and we'll see how that goes. But that's all I have for you today. Work on that balance. That balance is the key in combining some of these skills that are really slow, okay, that are not super fast. Also, too, next week, let's talk about cartwheel step in, back handspring step out, okay? And if you have any suggestions or things that you want to see me explain, just let me know. On Instagram, I'm Flip Doctor. On YouTube, it's the Flip Doctor, the YouTube channel, the Flip Doctor. And you can tag me on Summit's Facebook, or my personal Facebook is Flip Doc. So send me your videos or suggestions of things that you'd like to see me. Have a great rest of your week.